Pause. It's time for the video game podcast where the Konami code is alive and well. The console wars don't exist. Rings are just as valuable as coins. Pots are not safe from swords. Giant robots kick ass. And fireballs are a perfectly acceptable weapon in a fist fight. That's right. It's time for the Super Gamer Bros podcast Ultra Hyper Alpha Super EX Double Impact Plus A Live. Settle in and let's get to gaming.
Hey everyone, welcome to the wrap-up of our first multi-part Super Gamerverse. We hope you guys have enjoyed it as we've been talking about the idea of could we survive a console-less gaming ecosystem future.
Correct.
Talking about,
by using cloud.
Yeah, by using the cloud. We've had a good week of talking ups and downs, subscription model services, their pros and cons, and today we're going to play make-believe and what happens when the consoles don't exist? What will the Gamerverse look like? So I'm your normal host, Gavin. You can call me Slayton on Xbox. You can find me wherever you're at on Xbox. I'm always on West. I enjoyed all my partner in crime, Cynic.
Hello. That's Nick, Cynic, and Henzar, depending on if we're playing the Switch, PlayStation 4, or Xbox, all that good stuff.
And we have Ninja.
It's actually El Guapo now. Remember, especially.
Oh, that's right.
El
Guapo.
Yeah, I just noticed that you called me that because Grizzly's my real nickname. So I was like, oh wait, it's supposed to be El Guapo. Yeah.
We've been all week long, and you just now reminded me you're El Guapo. Like for real.
Yeah.
Also, every time I hear that it's El Guapo, I think that's something like an appetizer from Trudy's. Like I would like a large El Guapo, please.
Yes.
And
Since the full thing is El Guapo, especially definitely sounds food related.
It roughly translates to the special handsome one.
Roughly sounds like there should be some tequila in there somewhere.
Did cheese sauce with sausage in it? I don't know.
Oh Lord.
What?
It's an appetizer.
I know we're making Friday. All right. So
I'm Cassie.
We're going to discuss what the Gamerverse looks like without traditional consoles. It's happened. And one of the things I will not miss are the completely empty video game sections of stores. I remember a day when people were always in there looking at stuff, and I can't see. It's a ghost town. I will not miss the empty sections of video game sections of stores, period.
Yeah, there won't be no video game stores.
I'm just going to say it. Like, you go to GameStop, there's some moms and their little kids in there. There's anybody else. I went to a GameStop mall yesterday.
Everything's digital, man.
That was it.
Everything's digital. Only time you see someone going into a GameStop is for Pops. Special order Pops. That's literally it.
Unless you're at the Arboretum, which is always busy. You gotta be connected to a Barnes & Noble or something if you're gonna have a full GameStop.
GameStop has become the nerd flea market. It's where you go to get your weird, like, wallet to an anime, your Funko Pop, a D&D version of Monopoly, and, like...
a cord that you need that you don't have from an old game.
Yeah. And it's funny because they could just close it all down and be the Think Geek stores. I have a Think Geek and a GameStop in my mall. I'm like, y'all are the same damn store.
Because GameStop will never be, I'm going to say it right now, GameStop will never be Game Exchange, ever. ever, forever, ever.
Nope, game over.
No.
For me, it's Game Over, man. Game Over is a great company. Local Austin company.
Yeah.
Game Over is great.
You guys are in Austin. It's not fair for me, right?
No, I don't live in Austin. I live
drive
in
it out.
The other thing I think is going to be easier and exciting is the fact that it's easier to get a hold of games. You don't have to worry about pre-ordering. They'll be on the subscription service in the cloud. You know, if you're out and about and you can't home and spend time on it, you can pull up on your phone.
Kind of miss that a little bit. The whole, hey, let me go out at midnight and hang out with a bunch of people. Maybe talk with some weirdos, some camaraderie.
When was the last time you did that?
They still have that, though.
Halo 5, I think?
They still have that, though. Pre-orders do still show up. Pre-order and stuff like that still happens at GameStop, though.
No, I think I did.
Assassin's Creed was like that.
I think I did it for Mortal Kombat 11, maybe, but I mean, I didn't wait till midnight. You show up and they're like, "Hey, here's the midnight release. It's 6 o'clock." Like whatever. Nobody cares anymore.
Yeah, no one cares.
Well, it's because,
there's no such thing as actual midnight releases.
Because of stuff like GameStop only gives like 70 hours for an entire week for 5 employees. And your store manager has to work from like nearly open to close. Your store manager does not want to be there at midnight.
Yes,
He wants to go home and see his family.
Here is our weekly corporate injustice speech. We hope you enjoyed it.
I find it funny. At one point, I'm going to get a whole bunch more here in a bit.
We opened up to her for her to do that.
I find it funny that you guys talk about midnight games because I haven't done one since God. I don't remember because I don't buy physical games. I'll buy a physical game for the Switch every now and then. Everything I do is digital.
I think the last one that I actually went to at midnight, I think, was Halo 5, if I'm not mistaken. That was the last time something was actually open right at midnight. Everything, like, after that time, I only remember things being like, oh, 6 o'clock, we'll start selling this game or whatever. And midnight releases were dead after that.
I think the last one I did was actually Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I went with my brother. I didn't get actually.
You did that?
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, I was helping my brother out.
Nice. I just did it on Switch.
Well, I think things like movies kind of moved towards that too. Like I haven't seen a movie at midnight for many years because they went the same route. Like 6 o'clock, whatever, movie's out. Yeah. Go see it. I think we're a little off topic. What were we talking about?
No, it is off topic. It's something that would be missing in a console series.
Can we survive? Yes. It's things that we miss. Yes.
An interesting question someone brought up. I don't know who wrote this note, but if the lack of a hardware push will lead to a push in graphics or gameplay, like Cassandra, what was your thoughts behind that?
Okay, so basically, the reason the companies used to, up till I guess this kind of, in my opinion, this generation, they had to push hardware limitations. Microsoft and Sony being able to go off and buy and work with like AMD and Radeon, all these companies, they made big press releases of like, we have the exclusive rights to blah 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 hardware, and like they were pushing themselves. I mean, the reason Microsoft, like back on Windows ME or well, Windows ME, Windows XP was like promoting you're going to get up to like nearly a gig of video memory. And like, can you imagine what your game is going to look like at a gig of memory? And like
way back in the day.
Yeah, way back in the day. But it was like competition with hardware or software drives things to move forward. If there is no reason to move forward, then there is no reason to improve. The reason smartphones are getting better is because everyone and their mom, company-wise, has a smartphone division.
I think that as long as you have developers that are worth a damn and have a vision, especially if you have a true artistic vision, they're going to want to use any and everything to their advantage to try and bring that vision to life. And so I think ultimately that's one of the many things that will help push technology forward. That's for sure.
Yeah, you're right. I think if you weren't tied down to what one system has versus the other and you were all on a cloud, it would be a mixture of graphics and gameplay.
I think you guys failed to realize that's already happened. It's called PC. If you have a PC, you don't have to worry about it at all. And that's the beauty of having a PC.
You do have to worry about graphics because can your PC handle it?
It's not even that because
you do optimal settings or you do basic settings to run bare minimum.
But that's the thing, so the thing that you got to understand about PC is our bare minimum is your maximum on console. So even if we do play the bare minimum, it's like bare. If I play COD, but my bare minimum.
Everybody's computer is different. Not everybody has a big gaming computer like you do.
No, but to say you don't need it though. I caught for a complete build from scratch.
Say that.
It was
Like, you
1,500.
do need good system specs. Like on my basic computer here, I can't run Knights of the Old Republic, and it's not that old of a computer.
Yeah.
It stutters, it jitters, it doesn't look
But
good.
it's only because, it's just, I think the big thing about it is like a lot of people are educated on what it really costs for parts, and everyone thinks PC is so expensive. It really isn't. It's about buying. What people misunderstand is if you don't buy what you need and you're buying what you're told, it's a whole different ballgame. You can go into a computer and you tell a guy, "Hey, I don't know nothing about this. I need you to help me."
Ninja.
They're gonna be like, "Okay, you need this,
El
this, and
Guapo.
this."
Hold on. Why bother with that if all you have to do is plug in the internet and open up an app or browser? You're not relying on your computer anymore. That's why cloud
Yeah.
gaming is such a good potential idea. Because anybody with a computer, no matter how old, it could be a 10-year-old laptop, you open
Yeah.
up Chrome and boom, you're good to go because you have a good internet connection.
Yeah, but it's going to take more than good internet connection for it to run on a computer.
No, it doesn't.
No, it really does.
Yeah.
They're doing all the back end computering.
The back end of things, yes.
Yeah.
When you go to URL, like when you get here, I will show you Stadia, and you'll be like, "Oh, okay, I get it now."
Yeah.
Because it's literally you're on the URL, you're playing in the cloud. It is not on your computer. It does not rely on your computer's memory. It does not rely on your graphics card. It relies on your internet browser.
It runs in the cloud and then streams everything using, and that's where the big internet connection would come in. Is that it would stream everything to whatever browser or
But then,
whatever.
if you put it that way, then if you're putting it that way, I feel like it's still the same thing because okay, say you don't have to worry about the specs of the computer, right? Well, guess what? You just opened a whole new book on guess what? Wi-Fi exploration because like Pocky said plenty of times, the Wi-Fi sucks ass. So it's like okay, you just threw away consoles, you threw away PCs. Now I have to find hardware you have to find modems, the best modem, the best router. You have to find, you're going to start rerouting your house for, like, it doesn't matter what you do. You're always going to have to strive in whatever you do. So yes, if you have
you're going to have to do that anyway, since your room sucks ass when it comes to your Wi-Fi signal.
If you look at it, because if you look at a lot of like, there's a guy that I met not too long ago. He actually installed my Wi-Fi, and I got his personal number, and we continue to communicate so I can learn about internet. And he told me straight to my face. He's like, "I'm not supposed to say this, but the stuff comes already made for you to suck for you because a lot of companies." Like, and Pocky can definitely verify this. A lot of people are going towards business, not technical. So they don't care about how it works. They care about how much money it's going to get. So they put a lot of cheap labored stuff or stuff that is affordable into these things that won't work. That's why I did. That's why I have a Spectrum. I threw out I sent back the Spectrum shit and bought my own personal stuff because now for me to have even near what I need. This is just on console and computer. Now you're on something that completely just needs Wi-Fi. You're gonna have to have the best Wi-Fi. So guess what? It's gonna start casual, but then guess what? You just said there's no more consoles, so now everyone's on Wi-Fi. So now when your friend is running on fucking fiber active fucking cables and you're running on 50 gig or like on like 1 gig or even lower, let's say 500 megabits. It's going to become competitive. Anything you do becomes competitive.
It's kind of already
scales up and down for your connection. It's always
we're dealing with rollback at that point.
I mean everything scales, but it's a tight scale. Like for example, when I play, I use COD because that's where I get the best. That's where I show my visual frame rates. It scales from 90 to 100, but it's different from when you're scaling from 30 to 40. And that's because it comes down to my Wi-Fi, not just my specs of my computer, but where my Wi-Fi is at. So it's like I said, if you go complete Wi-Fi, you're still going to have to put in work to receive the best gaming experience, no matter what you do.
Yeah,
that's you're going
to be doing that anyway.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said gaming. That's why I feel like cloudless gaming is. I just feel like it's. I feel like it's not going to work.
After I show you Stadia. We'll revisit this because I don't think you fully comprehend the potentials of it. But we do have the last talking point for today's show. I believe this is Cassandra's as well.
If it's right, it's mine. If it's red, it's mine. So yeah.
Will
Slayton,
companies...
that was low key some that was some shade. So I'll
No,
have
no,
to
it's
show
literally
this.
if
No,
you
no.
look at the doc-
I'll have
if you
to
look at the
start.
red
Well,
document, if you look at the
no,
document,
it's funny. I'll have to put it out because
Well,
you were
so my
going,
problem
hey,
is-
like I'll have to show this to you because you don't know what you're talking about. Now on to the next one.
All right, so...
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the fact that I said it's in red.
Well, no,
Yeah,
you
well, I
can't.
put it in black and white. That's why I
No,
messed up.
You can't blow up on me before I finish my sentence. You dumb fucks. What are you doing?
No.
All
We
right.
have our notes color coded by who said it.
I
And
know.
if it's red, it's
I put it
mine.
in black and white, consider that's why. So, last part.
Kidding, by the way.
Will companies not be inventive to be creative with old IPs or bring back IPs that have not been made in years? I understand this question because we're doing a show about franchise fatigue coming up. I like this question because I see it as an opportunity to try new things because there's not as much of a financial investment that goes with physical games and console-based games as opposed to cloud games. Agree or disagree, Sandra?
So I can agree with that. Like I can see where like you're right. If there was not a physical aspect of the game, because the thing is, it's not even about physical aspect though. It's about the marketing. Like the fact that they spent billions and billions of dollars trying to market Dead Space 3 and demanded it sell like 7 million copies to be considered successful, which is impossible for it to do. That would be twice as much as it sold for number 2. I agree with that. I could see like they might. My worry is that a lot of those old or those inactive IPs or inactive titles came from an era where they were trying to suck people into their system. Now, admittedly, yes, it could be used to suck people into their service now, which is the big thing. We gotta look past this. But would the company have an incentive? Why did Capcom bring back Resident Evil 2 and 3, which are arguably one of the best Resident Evil games, with using the Resident Evil engine, the new engine they had for it? Because it's like they saw a market, and they saw a market that existed through Sony, because it doesn't exist on anything else. Well, I think it exists on Steam, but yeah, it doesn't exist on
That's also things being revived too with this new culture of where Resident Evil specifically has gone. It made it super easy for young kids who didn't play 2 and 3 to be like, oh shit, there's a 2 and 3, and I just played 7 and 6. I want to hop on that, you know. Yeah. So it's just like
the biggest thing, the remaster makes a world of a difference. I just got done with Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Whoa.
Not remastered.
That's not that old. That's not that old.
I think maybe a console-less gaming ecosystem would be like when games first started. Because one of the reasons I've talked about it before, I loved my PlayStation 1 and 2 because everything was so different. It was pre-franchised. They did weird, fun, bizarre games. Dreamcast was king of weird, fun, bizarre games. Let's just have fun with games. It wasn't all Call of Duty. It wasn't all Assassin's Creed. It wasn't all Madden. Like, I think Games Pass does a really good job of opening that door, and people will take chances on games that they would have had to buy. And why buy it? I think the idea of not worrying about so much money into the marketing and everything, and just making things again could be a good thing.
I think honestly, as beautiful as it sounds, I think why I get so turned off every time you bring it up is it low key is giving a lot of the company a lot of responsibility. And we've seen what happens when you give a company too responsibility. They say fuck us every time. So if you have games that are these amazingly beautifully crafted games, right? And they fucking fail every single time because, hey, we don't have the resources to maintain this game. Like, for example, Anthem. Anthem was supposed to be the mega game of the century. You know what fucking happened? They didn't have enough people to even continue to make the game better, so they said fuck it altogether. If you look at
That was
If
kind
you
of
look at-
mismanaged. That was mismanaged
let's
from the
not
start.
look at Anthem.
Oh,
Let's not look at Anthem.
oh God!
Yeah, no.
You've opened a can here.
Yeah, Anthem didn't have a playership because it had no game. It was
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's because it's the same thing. I mean, because it was so buggy. But it's like if you have a system that is gonna like I said, it's going to be in a cloud. It's going to need an ultra amount of maintenance consistently, and I don't think they're going to have the firepower to keep that up. It's like, oh, you have this great game that I can have, and like I'm not doubting any talking point you had because they're all flawless. It's just the only thing you're missing is the part of them doing their job. Yeah, no, not the business, just the technical side. Yeah, it's the technical side. And I don't think that they're gonna once that comes out, they're gonna be like, shit. Just put it this way. Just imagine what's a popular game that everyone plays? Let's say Destiny, right? Let's go with Destiny. Just imagine Destiny, but on a gigantic, enormous scale. There's just no way they'd have enough people and resources to main that at all times. There's a reason.
Last thoughts, we're almost out of time. Sandra, what is your rebuttal? I gotta hear.
You missed the 3 games that are beat Destiny's numbers handful. That's A, Final Fantasy 14, B, WoW, and C, Minecraft. And those servers are all active. Those servers are all live.
Yeah, but listen to what you just said, though. Listen to what you just said. All out of those are all MMO games. We're talking about games in general. So of course, with MMO, you're going to have the resources. Well, with Minecraft, there's a lot of servers designated to. Well, a lot of people use servers for Minecraft. So you're talking about.
The thing is, Shalik, they have the capability of doing
it. Yeah, but that's for one game. That's for one game.
There's plenty of the servers themselves are near low maintenance. That's why this whole cloud system is great for companies because it's low maintenance. It's the biggest bill you have is electricity.
Yeah. So we're out of time. That is
yay! We ate all the time up.
Our week.
And I didn't even talk so much in this episode.
So that's been a week of looking at the idea of a console gaming ecosystem. Thoughts. We really want to hear your thoughts. Hit us in the comments. Just wherever you're watching, make sure you hit like and subscribe. I loved this conversation over the past 4 days. It's been so much fun.
You mean the last hour for us?
Yeah, I'm excited for this.
Last hour, more like last 2 hours.
We'll be doing daily content like this every day. Next up, we're going to be talking about is console exclusivity a good or bad thing? And we're going to be looking at the history of that, how it affects games, and things like that. So that's going to be next week. And don't forget, every Monday we have a question of the week for you guys. Contribute to that. Let us know your thoughts. And we'll see you guys on the next episode of Super Gamerverse.
Bye.
I love Tanzar's creepy wave bye.
I'm going to say, Shalik, if you think this is bad, you should have been at the studio.
Well,
You should have been there when we were doing 3 live hours every Tuesday.